closer to vision. On the road to success, and there ain't no time for collision. People ask how you get your flow so amazing. To which I reply, I have yet to scratch the surface like abrasions. Haters taking shots, but it never blazing.
Ladies and gentlemen, today is June 12th, Thursday afternoon. Well, I guess technically, sometimes sometimes I kind of forget the difference between afternoon and evening. Obviously there's a difference, but like at what point would you consider like nighttime and an evening? Where's the cutoff? I've never really realized or understood that, or really thought about it much. But anyways, Thursday, it's usually my day off the gym, so morning, had my morning, typical morning job. And then I got home, left at like around 5 a.m, got home around like 12, and then pretty much got ready right away for my personal trainer job that I work for a specific gym, under a gym. And I typically take a little longer Thursdays because I do all my my facial stuff, like trim my beard and trim up my mustache, stuff like that. When I can, I try to trim my at least my upper body a little bit, just because I'm a very hairy person. But anyways, went to my personal trainer job, had about I think 2 clients today, and then afterwards had my scheduled personal training session with my new client that I mentioned I think last video or a few videos ago, and went pretty well. We've been learning I've been teaching him a lot of new things. He's been learning very quickly, which is pretty impressive, and hopefully we can continue to help him. We're planning on doing 3 sessions minimum, but I did want to do like field work with him, so he could get a little faster, a little more agile, because he is like a tennis player. So yeah, we'll see how it goes, but currently working on getting more clients. It's a lot more money when I'm training people on my own, because I'm not under a gym and I can keep all the money instead of splitting it essentially with the gym. But I did mention I started my own thing, and it was kind of just there with no identity. But recently I kind of just made a logo, kind of did a rebrand in a way, because originally it was when I first started like posting videos and stuff, I kind of created something but never really went through with it, which is called Fit Thief. And I kind of just threw it out the window at this point, and I made something really that's like aligned with my YouTube name and really all my social medias. So it's basically called 6 Paths Personal Training. Those of you that know what 6 Paths is, I'm sure if you're an anime head, you'll know where it's from. But if you don't, it's from Naruto Shippuden, whatever you want to call it. It's essentially the Sage of 6 Paths. I just took 6 Paths out of his name, and that's where I got my name, Jeff 6 Paths, from. Obviously, Jeff is being my name, and then 6 Paths being from that. But yeah, right now currently at the store at Albertsons. Super hot day today, and super windy yet again, which is annoying. Like I said last time, it feels like a damn oven. But made it back. It's like a 20-30 minute drive from where I was training the client at my personal trainer job. The good thing is that those 2 gyms are pretty close, so it's not terrible. And I get my money's worth, I guess, driving out over there. And it doesn't help that I'm driving a big old 5.0, and it has all the bolt-ons you can think of. So I'm obviously not getting the best gas mileage, so I'm wasting almost a gas tank every like 3.5 days, 4 days, which you know how that goes. It's like $80 to fill up every time, but it's whatever. I did it to myself, obviously, getting this car. But I'm gonna hit the store, buy a few things, and I'll actually show you guys what I get, and then pretty much just gonna head home, and then we'll talk about a a topic real quick, as usual. Alrighty, so we're back. Let me show you guys real quick what I got. Let me set it up. Not gonna lie, straight off the bat, it's not gonna be what you think, like super healthy wise. So I got a whole pizza and some air fried Kettle Brand Texas barbecue. If you guys haven't had those, I definitely recommend it. So good. But pretty much yesterday, because I had to wake up super early, being like 4:30 a.m. and you know my schedule lately has been so busy, as I was telling you in the last video or so. I'm all over the place, so sometimes you know I sacrifice my calorie intake in order to prioritize my sleep, which I would always recommend anyone to do, even if you're bulking. You know, and I say that, but even sometimes when I was bulking, you know, I'd stay up till midnight if I had to get those calories in. But believe it or not, right now I'm cutting at around, what is it, on my off days, my off gym days, I'm eating like 3,100 calories, and on my gym days I'm eating 3,400. Yeah, 3,400. So you know there's a fluctuation there for a reason. Obviously you're not training, so you're not burning as much calories and you don't need as much food. And you know I did say that I want to start bulking. I said like a while back, actually a few weeks ago, that I wanted to start increasing my calories, but you know I've been slowly like just not being too anal about like the little stuff, because I was always like, when I was like really in the cut, which I still am in a way, but not really. Right now I'm mainly just gaining, I guess you could say. And but when I was in the supercut, I would count everything like there is. So like sriracha, I would weigh it out. I would put on my food on the scale and weigh out the sriracha, and you know stuff like that. But even my vitamins, you know, my fish oils have like 18 calories, and I would you know I would track those. You know, as crazy as it sounds, when you're in a cut, you got to do all of that, well, a proper cut at least. But you know now, you know I'm just forgetting about that and just consuming that, so I'm getting a little like maybe 50 calories extra, and you know it's been doing well for me. I've been my thing is, as long as I'm performing in the gym, as long as my intensity is there and I'm improving every week, you know, or sustaining even, because obviously I'm like 5 years in at this point, and I'm not gonna always be able to improve. So as long as I'm sustaining or even improving a little bit every week, then I know that my food is okay. I don't really need to go crazy with it. And you know, once I see that my training declines dramatically, then I can be like, okay, I need to eat a little bit more, increase those calories, so I can have that extra energy to perform at my best. But that's pretty much it. I'm gonna eat these. If you're wondering, you know, why am I eating a fucking pizza? It's because of that, and also obviously it's good. It has a lot of sodium, but I don't really mind it because I do sweat a lot at work, like I said, and even during the day, throughout the day, getting out of my Alright, back home. So today I wanted to speak about something a little more technical. Today it is mind-muscle connection. I think we might have spoken about it briefly, but essentially I'll try to dumb it down as best as I can. So mind-muscle connection essentially is the connection that you have with your muscles, as the name suggests, obviously, right? So mind-muscle connection, you naturally improve on it without even thinking about it as you build experience training in the gym. But it's really important that if you know, obviously you can, but it's really important to actively work on improving it. That's the main thing, because the better you can have, the more mind-muscle connection that you can get a hold of, the better that your progress will be automatically, especially muscle growth. And really just the feel of training overall, it just becomes way more fun once you can actually feel the muscles that you're trying to train, you know. I'm sure when you start off, or maybe if you're watching this, you know, this might be you could just be doing exercises and, you know, you're just going through the motion essentially, not necessarily in a lazy way, but just going through it and not really feeling the muscle that you're supposed to be like hitting. You know, obviously in let's say like a bench press, like a barbell bench press, the most typical exercise that I'm sure a lot of us know. The goal is to utilize your chest, right? It's a chest press, it's a barbell chest press. But a lot of the time, it's just when you're starting off, it's just you pushing the bar off of your chest. You know, there's no effort to actually put your mind to the muscle while performing each rep. You know, and as difficult as that may be to understand, once you start building your mind-muscle connection and you start really applying the form, the technique, and, you know, bringing everything together, you'll really start to understand, you know, mind-muscle connection. Like, you know, this feels good. Like after a set, you know, I feel like a crazy pump right away. You know, every set is quality, not just a wasted set. You know, because I was able to feel my muscle throughout the whole entirety of the set and each single rep. And, you know, afterwards I feel the burn, I feel the pump, and it gets better throughout the workout, you know, and I maintain that pump and it doesn't just go away. You know, that's really important. As I said, you improve it, you'll be able to make way more gains than without it. But, you know, how do you improve it? It really comes down to how you train, first of all. You know, something I always like to include in every routine, and even some of my clients, is to get a good warm-up in. So whether you're hitting legs, upper body, doesn't matter. Get a good warm-up in, and you know, really get, like, not necessarily like exhausted for a specific muscle, but, like, you know, really try to emphasize like blood in there. So, you know, start with like a pump exercise as a warm-up. You know, I'll give you an example, like a chest exercise, a chest workout. I mean, you know, I like starting with like just a basic pec deck. You know, really get some blood flowing in there. You know, get your shoulders warmed up, because, you know, it's important that your shoulders need to be pinched back when you get to that compound, or whatever compound it is, like a barbell or a dumbbell, whatever it is. Once you get to that, you need to be dialed in to where your shoulders are fully warmed up, that they can properly travel all the way back for a full range of motion. And it'll also help you, you know, get more cleaner reps and not get hurt, be able to lift more, etc. But the main thing is that you're warming up your chest, you're getting blood in there, you're establishing a pump. And that's really important, because once you get that pump, you know how it feels, and you want to keep it, and you'll consciously and consistently be thinking about it as you go on through the workout. But like I said, a good warm-up is good. It's important. Another slept on thing is stretching. Once you start warming up, stretching a little bit. Nothing crazy, just stretching a little bit. And then apart from this, it is flexing. So your typical muscle, bicep flex, whatever it is, whatever muscle you're hitting, you know, try flexing a little bit. Try squeezing it at different angles. You know, whether you're hitting pull downs, lat pull downs. You know, put your arm up against something and you'll stretch out your lats and really try squeezing it. You know, obviously you're gonna look a little goofy at first, but like once those that know, like if you see someone laughing at you because you're doing this stuff, like they don't know. Like those that know what they're doing, they won't laugh at you. They'll be like, okay, this guy, you know, he's trying to get that pump in. He's trying to improve his mind muscle connection and, you know, get better workouts. But that's a good way of doing it. Like if you have to look in the mirror and like look like corny, but it doesn't matter. Just do what you got to do. But those are good ways to improve your mind muscle connection. I'm sure there's other ways as well, but for now we'll stick to those. And if you guys want, I'll make another iteration. You know, how about tomorrow? I'll make for Friday's vlog. I've been trying to vlog every day that I can. At least this week, I've been trying to vlog every day. I was like, cause why not? You know, I have the camera here, and you know, I'm not doing much, to be fair. Like today, like there's not training footage. There's not much to this vlog besides a lot of talking and me, you know, yapping sometimes. But yeah, tomorrow we'll do the second iteration of that, and tomorrow's another day, another double work day. And then, you know, at least we got training tomorrow. Tomorrow's a leg day, so that's good. That's exciting. But yeah, hope you guys have a good rest of your day, or a good morning, or you get it. Peace.